So view main. So what do you think I should do first with inside this window? Any thoughts? What should I do? Have 6 labels for the resolutions as required by the homework assignment. Correct. Anything else before that?
Should have put it all in a panel.
Yes. Thank you very much. First, we add the panel to the form because we said for multiple reasons we should not be placing our gadgets and our user interface controls directly on the form. The panel has some really sophisticated mechanisms built into it so that it can essentially smooth any kind of unnecessary flicker. It really supports like a double buffering, which is really a way all of the modern graphical user interface applications should be designed. All right. So thank you. Yes, let's do that. So the panel is right here. Okay. So this is the panel. So if you don't have this palette window visible, you just go to window and you can make it visible there, or wherever is on the view. Maybe on the view you can make things visible. But I kept it visible. I never closed it. So it's in my view right here panel. So I snap this panel on to my main view, and you can basically move it around, and as you keep resizing it, it will eventually snap on and make it completely occupying the entire area. Okay, so that's that. So we have that. I would normally not leave it named using the default name. You should realize that right now the panel looks like the entire window because it takes the whole space. But it's a panel which now is positioned on top of the form, and so now if I say change variable name, which is right-click and use the first choice available there, the default name for this control is JPanel1. I'm just going to say PNL panel main. How about that? Okay, so that just I keep naming my controls consistently, right? So PNL main would be my choice for this. Obviously, same thing for view history, I'd say. Okay, so let me get started with just 2 buttons, right? I'll leave those labels for the exercise, all right? But we can add a couple of buttons. Let's see, where is the button? Is this just that button? Yeah, J button, right there. Okay, so this is the J button. I need a couple of them, right? Confirm and nullify, so I'll just position them somewhere in the form. So the first and second button right away, added together, and of course my first change that I do is usually change variable name. So this is BTN. I keep 3-letter abbreviation of the control itself. BTN. So this one will be firm. I guess this is the name of or actually the language that came from the business description for our project. So button affirm right there, right? And its caption, the one that's visible to the user, is kept separate. So if you see, here's the text property, and it says J button 1. So instead, of course, it will be saying confirm. Confirm exclamation point right there, right? Confirm. And the second button, so I already changed its name, didn't I? No, I didn't. So this will be BTN nullify, right? Nullify. But nullify are internal slang, if you will. Externally, we're just going to make it look like so when we do this and we change the text for the caption for the second button, it's just going to say oops, right? And so we made a mistake. All right, something like that.
Okay, hit enter. So we have these two buttons, and we can clearly start, adding some code to that. So confirm, right? Confirm. Like I told you before, occasionally we should probably save everything. But one of the things to add to the button is just a click, the handler for the click event, right? So we have events and the action. You can see that there's a ton of different things that may be happening with respect to this button, but the default action performed is the event that handles the click. Why is it good? Because this action performed and this default action performed actually will be invoked if the user just moves the focus, like using the tab key to move to the button and hit the enter key, or use mouse to click it. This default action will be invoked for either of these cases. And you can also have a hotkey like shortcut to the button, so that will be handling all of that. So as soon as I click this, it just tells me, okay, you can add your handling code right here. Well, guess what? I have the controller, right? I have the controller, and I can tell the controller confirm, right? And that's all, right? Just say controller, the user wants to confirm something. Save that. Switching back to the design, right, and just selecting the second button, same thing, events, action, action performed, right? And the second thing for the second button is controller nullify, right? Nullify right there. Okay, so these are the two things. We can keep plumbing everything, right? So I don't have any labels there, right? But at least there's one more method that I need to add to each of these forms. Is that remember, there's an update method, right? There's an update. Because remember, when this happens, when the confirm is invoked, what controller does right here in its implementation of confirm is that first it talks to the data object, but then what it does is basically says to both of the forms, update, right? So we need this update. And for the main view, what the update method is trying to do is that I'm expecting that I can ask my data for the entire collection of resolution strings. So back to the main view. I'm just going to say, and now I need to find a good spot for this code, right? So this is the constructor. And how about this? Somewhere here after the constructor, I can just add my own section here, which is operations. I typically add the operations section to my class, so at least I can recognize this is something I added, okay? So anyway, this is a public, right? Public void update. And this specific update in the main view takes the entire array list of strings, and of course what becomes visible in main view is a list of unconfirmed resolutions. So the name for the parameter is going to be unconfirmed resolutions, right? And so we can iterate here. Of course, we need another import, right? Fix imports. So the imports are added. String instead of strings. So we have this update method, and we should have our update method in both of these classes. So the second update method should be inside the view history, right? So view history, likewise, perhaps after the constructor, should have operations, and we're just going to do the same thing with fix imports. Okay, but if you notice that my decision was that on every confirmation, or nullification, what happens to the history view, if I go back to my controller, what happens there is that it gets only a single string, like an update history, which should be appended to that text area list. And so here we go, I say a history update, so it just takes a string, okay? So this is what I'm going to change. I'm going to my view history, update methods that I just added. And here this thing is just simply going to be a string. I don't know, item, whatever item has to be appended. Okay, so something like that. Switching to the design view, adding panel to the history window, right? We just start with the panel, resize the panel, and then add text area. The text area is right here, so it's supposed to be a good-looking, multi-line display like that. And of course, we need another button that says hide, right? So let's do that. Action performed for that. Oh, that's just not good. How about this? I didn't rename my button. I just was too quick to do that. So let me just try changing the variable name. btn hide, right? Because we said that we want to be able to hide that. btn hide, and the text for that button is going to be hide. Okay, that's fine. Hit enter, and now if we just go to view this, button hide is, so it did update, did change the handler, the name of the method that handles the click. So hide simply should say this, set visible, right? Set visible. False, right? So it's just the form becomes invisible, false. So the user wants to hide the form. All it takes is just basically says, look, this entire class view history derives itself from JFrame, and JFrame has set visible, true, false. So that's trivial, right? So this is what the hide button does. Just says set visible, false. Okay, in addition to that, we need that update, right? So we need the, should not make that mistake again. Right click and say change variable name instead of text area. I don't know how we should name it. TAR for text area, tar, right? Text area history, right? This is just something, a container that keeps the history. So click OK. So we have TAR history, and I also have this this panel there, which I will also rename, change variable name to say PNL history. So I prefer to rename all of my gadgets on the form right away. All right, so we have this text area, we have hide, and perhaps we should have another button that says clear. How about that? Just another button, right, where we can say events, this time first I'll change the variable name, btn clear. How about that? Clear, right? And the caption should say clear. Just clear the list, right? And so that's going to be another handler here. So TAR history, which is the text area, history dot is it a value or set text? Let me see. Set something, is it? Or set okay, so set text, and we're going to set text by saying tar history. We need to say tar history. Get text, I suppose. Get text, right? Get text, and append that. Oh, sorry. This is just clear, right? So nothing, not much to do over here. In fact, this is something that can go into the update method. So here, just simply set text blank, right? So that just will clear the text in the clear button. Hide is implemented. Clear is implemented, which both were very trivial to handle. And finally, the update method right here can do something like this, right? So tar history, set text tar history get text plus this item, the new item, right? Plus the new item, plus, I suppose, a new line, right? So that new line can be accommodated by this text box as well. Okay, so interesting. Let's just run it and see what happens. Oh, apparently I still haven't implemented everything, so let me save this.